Oh man, FIA President Mohamed Ben Sulayem, good old MBS. He's hit back at the drivers with their, apparently, unreasonable demands. And I remember what this is, I've seen this story before, but let's have a look at it on the F1Chronicle.com and I'll give my thoughts on it as well. I did a video over the weekend going over his latest controversy MBS about him sacking members of staff via text message. Classy. But let's have a look. The FIA president MBS has hit back hard at Formula 1 drivers, complaining about his current governance of the sport. Recently, the GPDA penned a letter complaining about the penalties for swearing and demanding to know how financial penalties are spent. Multiple drivers say the FIA has yet to respond, whilst also expressing concern about the recent and ongoing exodus of top-ranking FIA officials. MBS hit back by insisting they should concentrate on what they do best, driving. The decisions of the FIA are not their business, he added, in quotes reproduced by multiple international publications, including Diario Sports. As for the drivers' demands that they should be informed about the behind-the-scenes affairs of the FIA, the controversial 63-year-old added, why do we have to tell them? If something changes with the teams, do they inform us? No, they don't. We have our own rules that we follow. We have our own rules that we follow. Interesting choice of words. Ben Sulayem has also denied there is a crisis underway at the FIA, insisting the situation is being talked up from the paddock and by the British. It's British bias, guys. British bias against the FIA as well. Clearly, that's what's going on here. With all due respect, he added, why do I have to answer everything in the media? I have responsibility to the FIA members and the sport. The media is fine, but they have no voting rights in the FIA, so therefore he doesn't care because they have no influence on him. I was elected to put the FIA in order, and that is what I'm doing. Really, MBS? Really? You're really putting them in order? Have you been completely oblivious to what you yourself have been doing? My goodness, this guy is an idiot. I'm sorry, guys, but honestly, he needs to go. I've said this several times. The stuff he's coming out with is unbelievable. But the worst part is, right, he's probably going to get re-elected unopposed. That's how, dare I say it, corrupt this whole thing is. It's terrible. As for the drivers' demand to know how their financial penalties are spent, MBS responded, they can ask, but the drivers are paid millions. And do I ask them how they spend it? No, it's not their business. Oh my god. It's not about that though, is it? They want transparency. It's not for them really. It's about the fans. Where's the money going to? Is it going to your pocket, MBS? Can you disprove that? Can you dispute that? I don't see him disputing that. Do you really think I would waste this money? Yes. Yes, they do. Everybody does. This is the members' money and I was elected to look after it. Oh, is it just resting in your account? Is it just resting in your account? Just Father Ted style? Oh, the money is just resting in my account. That doesn't sound dodgy at all. I was elected to fix the situation in the FIA and I'm fixing it. And I am happy with our new team. What was the problem with the FIA before that? I want to know this because under Jean Todt, it was run a lot better than what it is right now. There was none of this, I can't say the word, none of this rubbish shenanigans going on in the background. None of it. Meanwhile, the Telegraph newspaper reports that Max Verstappen, penalised for saying the F word in an FIA press conference, had a clear the air meeting with the FIA president in Qatar. Sources close to the quadruple world champion reports it was a good and mature conversation. Probably telling him not to do it again and letting him off the hook for you know, his penalty that he was given, which was a lot of rubbish anyway, man. Like even Hamilton was like, no, don't do the community service, man. Like, why would you do that? Yeah, I mean, I've made my some of my feelings clear on the FIA president, man. Like honestly, I'm done with him. Like this guy's an absolute clown. The stuff he comes out with, it is so reminiscent of a dictator. It really is. You know, like, oh, I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing, but I'm doing the right thing because I'm doing it, you know. You know what it is? Jean-Marie Blessed. Remember him from back in the day, back in the 90s? The correct decision is my decision. It's literally that. It literally is like, I don't have to explain myself. We've got our own rules that I make up. We stick to them. Trust us. We're not stealing the money. We're putting it to good causes. Don't look at them. Don't look at the money. It's there. We're making use of it. Trust us. We don't trust him. We just don't. The guy has been embroiled in scandals and controversies absolutely up the wazoo. You know, I cannot believe this guy is still in charge. It really does speak to the desperate situation the FIA is in right now. It really is. It's terrible, man. And this is just going to keep going on. I mean, and we've seen the effects of this already, in my opinion, in terms of the actual races. You know, the president's saying that, oh, you know, these things are not the driver's business, they don't affect them. It does affect them, though. Fair enough if it's like, I don't know, like a safety car driver or something like that changes. That's not such a big deal. As long as they're qualified, they can drive the car. I'm not saying it's an easy job, but it's not the most high-stress one. You get told what to do by the FIA, by the race control guy. But race control guy, he's been sacked. New one coming. What happened at Qatar? They waited 4 laps to bring out the safety car because there were 2 punctures that were caused by the debris. I think it was from Albon Williams. I said in my race review that it was Valtteri Bottas. It wasn't, I believe it was Alex Albon's wing mirror that was shed off his car. Correct me in the comments if I'm incorrect on that, guys. But the main thing with that is, the thing that matters is that there was debris on the track. Cars run over it. Hamilton got a puncture. Sainz got a puncture. And then they put out the safety car. Whereas they could have avoided all that by putting out a VSC, neutralising the pace of the cars and the gaps, and just allowing someone to come out and get it. Or throw in a full safety car so there was enough time and a big enough, you know, the crocodile as it was following the car, as you know, as Martin Brundle says, although he wasn't on the commentary this weekend, but I imagine he would have called it the crocodile because he loves calling it that. I've never heard anybody else call it that, to be honest. But my point being, and I'm not going to blame the race control person, because they were thrust into a situation on a very busy weekend. I think they were race control for F2, F1 Academy, and possibly Porsche Super Cup as well this weekend. So a very busy and packed schedule. And it's a very high stress job doing that, especially for the first time in Formula 1. But they were just thrust into that limelight, and frankly, clearly, they were too inexperienced. They made a critical error that changed the outcome of the race, and that's not what race control should do. It just isn't. So for me, we're already seeing the effects of it. We're getting less experienced people. We're getting a smaller pool of talent. It's like in football when they talk about the pool of referees being smaller now than it ever has been, and therefore the standard of refereeing also being worse than it ever has been. And that's just a numbers game. You have less people to choose from. There will be less quality for the quantity you have because the quantity is small. The laws of average dictate that, and we're already seeing it. And we might see more mistakes in the future. We might see mistakes again during the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which I know, before anybody says it, I know we've had race control mistakes at Abu Dhabi. We know this, right? That is not a secret here. But the crucial thing is that, you know, we could see another serious incident. You know, we got relatively lucky with those punctures. You know, Qatar has a lot of runoff. Imagine a high pressure situation where there's debris on the track and it's not dealt with quickly at Monaco, Singapore, Baku, you know, another track that's got a lot of barriers, Las Vegas perhaps, like the previous round. So I'm very much concerned about the safety of the Formula 1 drivers, and I think they have every right to complain and demand answers. Yeah, alright, if the secretary of the FIA is replaced, they don't need to know that. What they do need to know is the key personnel that are being changed for races. Race control, if something happens with the stewards, for example, something major like that, you know, these are the people that the drivers need to rely on. They need to feel safe and know that these people are looking out for them. But the FIA president doesn't care, clearly. But what do you guys think? Does MBS need to go? And who would you want to replace him? That's always the thing I ask with this stuff, because I don't know who would make a good president of the FIA. Put in Stefano, maybe? I guess he's doing not terrible with F1, although some question marks about him as well. But yeah, let us know in the comments below, as always. And of course, keep it tuned here to the F1Chronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well. And we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.